Blunk, the reverse side. Oh, that's one of the best ones of the tournament. And it just looks a matter of time here. Through the legs. Oh, is that Davies? It is. Goodness me, that's the Yannick Noah style.
Christian Blunk and Stephen Davies, goal scorers yesterday and key men today in the final of the 19th Champions Trophy. Welcome again to the Pines in Adelaide for the title decider between Australia and Germany. Fitting it is that these two countries should decide it because they've each won it 6 times. That's more than any other nation. Let's look at the points table after the round-robin section is complete. And Australia with a perfect 5 from 5 and 15 points. Germany's win over Spain yesterday promoted them to second and secured their place in the final. Spain and the Netherlands have just played off for third after finishing on 7 points. Spain victorious 2-1. Pakistan won this morning's match against Korea 6-2 to officially end the tournament 5th, despite finishing bottom of the table yesterday. Well, Richard Agus, some thoughts about the final today, and whoever scores the first goal, that's going to dictate the way the rest of the match is played, particularly against Germany.
That's obviously preferable, but the Australian team is playing particularly well at the moment. They're very confident. I saw them after the game the other day, and they were very, very confident, really getting together. Davies and Elmer in particular have been causing all defences trouble. I really believe the key to today's match is going to be how well the Australian defence plays. Adelaide has been in absolute top form, and if he can stop the penalty corners from the Germans, I think Australia's well on their way to the gold medal.
Australia beat Germany 2-0 on Tuesday night. David Wansborough mentioned that after Australia had first scored, that really changed the structure of the German play.
Yes, and I won't be surprised if that doesn't happen again. I think Tevis is a player at the back who will initially get the job on marking Davies because Davies is really in top form. And I think the other guy that could make a very big difference to this lineup is how Meyerhofer plays on Wansborough, who is carrying that sore wrist. So that'll be an interesting part and something else we should look at.
14 degrees. The sun is out, but it's a little overcast. But I think conditions, as they have been all week, ideal for great hockey, and haven't we seen plenty of it? Australians getting a warm reception from the best crowd of the week, as you might expect. And Jay Stacey, piece of hockey history today for Jay, playing his 231st game. He moves past Mark Hager's record to become Australia's most capped international. He's only 29. Stephen Davies is the top field goal scorer at the tournament with 6, and he's up to 98 for his career. Only 4 goals have got past keeper Damon Adelaide this week, and he had a clean sheet against Germany. Paul Lewis, number 11, plays game number 180 for Australia before his home crowd today. Coach Terry Walsh will be hoping Baden Choppy's pace coming off the bench will cause Germany some headaches. There's concern over the fitness of 21-year-old Brent Livermore. So with Wansborough's problem, they're a bit down on depth. Germany, the imposing Christian Blunk wears shirt number 5. He and defender Michael Green in 13 are their most experienced, each with over 170 caps. Blunk and Beckman have 3 goals at this tournament. Christopher Reitz wins the goalkeeping spot ahead of Nils Kowalczyk. Despite his 160-plus games for Germany, Stefan Saliger starts on the bench. Peter Strike and Frank Gemrig may not see a lot of action if all things go to plan for Germany. And they're set. Well, good to see such a fine crowd in. Top left of screen there was the Santi Deo. Back to that, Santi Deo from Spain and Peter von Ret from the Netherlands, our umpires. So we're close by the Superdrome there at the top left, the cycling venue here in Adelaide. Christian Blunk. Will this be another big event for him? And he gets us underway. So Germany running right to left. And a patient start is what we would expect from Germany, Richard.
Certainly would, and straight away I see that Stephen Davies is going to be picked up by Tevis.
Beckman. Beckman trying to get one in low early. Davies. Gets around one. Santi Deo has blown something in favour of Australia, so it comes back inside the 25.
I think there was an obstruction off the ball. In the form of Daniel Sproul at left half. Needs to be watched carefully because he can do some very exciting things, particularly in attack. but he needs to make sure he's very, very strong in defence.
Michael York. Something for Lewis to chase. Doesn't have much support, and defenders closing in on him now. Probably due for a goal, not having scored at the tournament. Hiskins.
Yes, I didn't think that was the best passing option for Paul Lewis. Put young Jeremy Hiskins into a difficult situation, confronted by Tevez.
So Domke to Beckman. Domke into the corner. Well, pretty skillful, but not quite effective.
Yeah, he tried something very difficult then to get the ball back into play, but there was no German player there anyway.
It's risky pass Blunk from Wansborough to Sproul. Lewis. Wansborough, left wrist strapped heavily.
Has been in top form, and it's very important that he plays well in this match. The rumours are that he has a cracked bone in his wrist, so we'll have to watch carefully. Fortunately for Australia, he doesn't hit the ball very often. He tends to push it mostly.
Sproul with it on halfway. Difficult one for Elmer to trap on the fly. Sort of start we probably expect. Richard played mostly between the 25s for the first few minutes. A little sorting out going on.
Yes, that's right, and it's going to be very important for Elmer to get on top of Green early, because Green's been one of the form halfbacks in this competition.
Here is this duel. Green so rarely beaten.
Very quick. His recovery is enormous.
Domke. Sproul the defender. The line for Bellenbaum. Played back for Lewis. Godoyne released, top of the circle, and Stacey. Green hustles back. Here's test for Elmer. It's straight back out to him. And Green will win the free hit.
Yeah, but a good idea by Elmer. Put the pressure on the goalkeeper immediately, particularly as Hiskins was loitering behind him. You see the ball go into the circle here. Hiskins is behind him. Put pressure on right to the goalkeeper.
Safely trapped by Godoyne. Wansborough. He is feeling any discomfort. He's not about to let the German opponents know.
No, he's a pretty tough competitor. The first test will come when the first clash of sticks or the first tackle.
Well, what Blunk was up to there, he apologises to Domke. Elmer. Back to Wansborough. Across to Lewis. And Duff.
Australian forwards interchanging positions a lot, trying to run the German defenders out of their normal position where they feel comfortable.
Michael York, captain. Davies.
Of course, the Germans will be very comfortable with Australia playing the ball around the back. They won't want to push forward because they know that if they create space, Australia will run at them.
Bellenbaum to Beckman. Good interception for Davies. Come forward, the yellow jerseys. Oh, that might still be for Elmer.
Oh, it was an opportunity for Australia. Not sure whether Stephen Davies expected that ball back from Stacey. Watch here on the replay. I think Stephen Davies thought he'd let it go for Elmer. Maybe Davies should have got it himself.
TV's to Bellenbaum. Cronet up the right for no one's advantage, really. Sproul.
Yes, it's going to be an Australian free hit. The first free hit was back near the centre line. Umpire Peter Von Reth off the camera had pointed to Australia. It was always going to be Australia's free hit.
York now. Breeze here is blowing right to left as we watch. Lewis. Well passed to Sproul. He's got Hiskins and Elmer waiting, but Bellenbaum is too strong.
Very good tackle by Bellenbaum, because if Sproul had got round the corner, there's a bit of a stumble there by Sproul. Cannons into him.
Didn't exactly assist him up.
No.
Christian Blum. Oh, beats Duff and Wansbrough. Chance now for Germany. Meyerhofer. Can't get the shot away. Deleddy. Now they can.
Oh, it's a goal.
And it's in. It's off an Australian, and claiming it is Beckman.
Well, that's just the start Australia didn't want. Germany going down once for a goal from Bellenbaum on his reverse. Well, there's the ball. Donkey's got the ball. He lays the ball back, and there's the tackle. Godoin gets him on his reverse. Deleddy's there, but Bellenbaum gets it and deflected off an Australian stick, but certainly was touched by German inside the circle, so that's a goal. There's another error.
Blum. Sluggish start, Australia. Wansbrough cleans up. First goal by Germany against Australia at the tournament. Well, now this is totally against the game plan for Terry Walsh's Kookaburras.
Yes, there's still plenty of time left.
We're only 7 minutes in, I hope so.
Yes, the problem is, of course, that if Germany want to tie the game up and slow it down, they're not doing that at the moment.
Elmer.
Well, Nelly put a saddle on him. Watch this tackle by Blanc. The normal Christian Blanc tackle. The hand in the back and the bump. Because he's had a yellow card already this tournament and a few other warnings. He's a very good player, but he's a very tough competitor.
Tevez. Beckman's fourth goal at the tournament, that was, coming after 7 minutes.
Very good time to get a goal. These two teams have played each other 4 times this year. 2 wins each.
Beckman. They're looking pretty sharp early, Germany. Well defended. German bench pretty happy at the moment. Sproul. Duff. Green. Bjorn Mikkel to Salaga, who's on for the first time. German free hit on the 25. Mikkel.
It's looking dangerous down there. They're getting the ball into that circle.
Elmer breaks away. Still Elmer.
Good cover defence by John Tevez.
Stacey.
Inside the 25, all players must be 5 yards from the ball. And umpire Deo has indicated that Elmer wasn't 5 yards.
Meyerhofer dispossessed by Wansbrough.
Running back. It's a good tackle by Meyerhofer. Desperate.
Bellenbaum to Kroner. Sproul to York. And the Australians a little rocked by this bright start from Germany. They're Haven't played quite this poorly, I don't think, all tournament there. I don't think the occasion would be getting to them, but Germany looked very sharp in their warm-up, Richard.
They did. I've noticed Baden Choppies come on for Jimmy Elmer. But we always said this was going to be a very hard match. The Germans peaking, if you like, at the right end of the competition.
Walsh and Elmer. Chad. York. Had a birthday this week. 12 minutes gone. Germany 1, Australia 0. Davies, nope, Cannon out of play. Godoyne. Wansborough. Allowed to run. Oh, meant for Choppy. Good defence from Tevez.
Great experience, Tevez. Of course, he's played in the Australian National League for a couple of years, so he knows all of these players very well.
Duff. Lewis. Plenty of German defenders back. Choppy comes in. Free hit Germany. Meyerhofer takes it. Bellenbaum. To be retaken. Tevez across to green. Tennis Christoph Eimer. Young player of plenty of promise.
Yes, he's been very good in this tournament. Eimer, Donkey, Krone, all been very good.
Nickel. Tevez. Bellenbaum. So a stockily built Krone. Australia with a chance to break out here. And a good tackle from Meyerhofer. Germans giving Australia nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And when you get that, when you do make that interception, you must make them pay.
Blunk. Eimer in first time, and it's an important clearance for Australia by Sproul. Davies, there's not much on for him forward. Stacey.
Got to give the ball to these strikers as quickly as they can. The longer they delay, the more the man-to-man marking will come into play.
Davies is off, and Elmer back on. And Elmer has it straight away. Maybe Tevez didn't see him coming on. Elmer. Can he take on Green? He can.
Penalty corner has to be, absolutely. No doubt about that. The stick jack all the way, and then he deliberately knocked it over the back line anyway, so just take your pick. Jimmy Elmer gets past Green here, firstly with a dummy. Ball's not passed. Now watch the stick check. There's a stick check, then deliberately over the back line, so the umpire had one of two choices.
So first penalty corner of the match. It comes to Australia. They've converted 2 from 11 chances so far. They've not made a lot of penalty corners. They had 11 to choose from. Germany have converted 6 from 28. Most teams have had over 20. All the other teams have had over 20, in fact. Brennan. Godoyne.
Oh, just past the post. They went low.
Paul Godoyne scored a beauty against the Netherlands.
There's a replay, just past the post. Reitz was there, though, the goalkeeper from Germany.
It's Godoyne now. Jimmy Elmer will be feeling a little more confident, having at least once got the better of Michael Green. But Bellenbaum intercepts. They are reading the Australian play very well.
Yes, they've played each other many, many times over the years. They probably play each other 6 or 8 times a year in normal competition, Champions Trophies and so on. And a lot of their players also play in the Australian National Hockey League. Blanc and Tevez to mention too.
Frank Gemrig is on for Germany in 9. He's in the circle at the moment. Ouch, it's lifted. It's pretty much how David Wansborough was hurt the other day. Choppy.
Oh, umpire blew the whistle too early. Of course, that's what the Germans want. They want the umpire to blow the whistle all the time to hold up the play.
It's Choppy now. A foot of Tevez. Lewis.
Just outside the 25, otherwise it would have been a penalty corner.
Wansborough. Sproul. Oh, nobody there.
It was a good ball. Paul Lewis puts his hands up and says, yeah, that's a good ball. There's another opportunity lost.
Mickle back to Tevez. Always looks calm, in control, Michael York. They've surrendered it to Gemrig. Salaga.
Well, Elmer got rid of him. It was a third man obstruction. Jimmy Elmer just helped him on his way.
Godoyne. Australia's former players at the tournament. Godoyne. Hiskins. Wansborough. Green fakes to receive it.
Baden Choppy has to do more up the front. He's not going to get the easy ball today.
Tevez. 18 minutes gone. Green. Kroner. Taken by Domke. Caught in the crowd. Up goes the cheer. They're here for a good time. Some of them have come a long way and enjoyed a great week's hockey. People from as far away as Cairns. Christoph Eimer. Tevez. Back across to Kroner. One hit in a little bit of danger. Too much air underneath it. Kroner and Davies. Just a little bit of a flat spot here, not much happening. For long. Domke.
Good tackle by Duff. Good poke tackle by Jason Duff. So they're really struggling to take their free hits quickly. Here's a tackle by Duff. Good poke tackle. Domke got too close to Duff. He's got a very long reach.
So Australia have it just over halfway.
On 5 yards. Germans have to be 5 yards in that situation. Oh, that's a bad pass.
Straight to Meyerhofer. I don't think Stacey saw him. Domke. Domke. Crowd giving Sandy Deo a bit of a rise. Imer.
Free hit to Germany just outside the circle, quite dangerous for Australia.
They'll be looking for a penalty corner, if not a deflection, which they did find through Saliga, and it was past Adelaide, I think, before the foot went down. It was lucky it was wide.
Yes, there's a very big gap there.
Germany not allowing Australia to play as well as they have all week.
No, we knew that was going to happen. Australia needed to get hold of this ball, capitalise on every opportunity when they make an interception.
Kroner on halfway. Mikkel on the 25. Germany getting into Australia's 25 14 times. Australia into Germany's 6. It's a reflection of the possession and penetration that the Germans are enjoying. Here they come once more. Saliga. Beckman, soft ball back.
Now here's a chance for Australia. They've got Germany outnumbered, but can they do it quickly? This seems to be the problem today. They're not handling the ball well enough to move it quickly.
Lewis to Davies. White shirts back now. Elmer, choppy up in the circle.
Jimmy Elmer scratching his head. Played very well in this tournament, but this would be his toughest test today.
Imer. Kroner on the stretch. Free hit to Germany.
Tackle there, I thought he got the ball, but the umpire thought otherwise.
Block.
Block was given an advantage there. I'm not sure he wanted that advantage because there definitely was a breach against Australia in the circle.
Here's Blunk again. He's kept that low. Deletty. One spray. And they break out now, Australia. Brennan. Davies was placed more in the path of Imer than Davies.
Yes, he just wasn't pushed firmly enough. That seems to be the problem. They're under pushing the ball.
Germany playing with great skill and control in the first 25 minutes.
Australia have taken Paul Godoyne off, and Jay Stacey is now playing in the half line.
Blunk. Only in rare patches have Australia looked settled in this match.
They're taking far too long to take the free hits.
And doing that with a Bellenbaum. Blunk. Leaves it. Meyerhofer.
Ball was
Came off the post, or did it get in?
I don't know, but it was lifted, so it doesn't matter. But it was a very good shot. You see the ball's lifted here, so the umpire must blow it. It came off the post.
Davies. And once more, Michael Green comes up to make the important save for Germany. One of the players of the tournament.
Yeah. Oh. Off a foot there, off Michael Green's foot, so it's a penalty corner for Australia. The deflection was just wide of the post by Imer. That's good play by Australia. It's the advantage of getting the ball moving quickly, so Germany can't get set in defence. A little deflection just goes past. Wright was there, by the way.
Second penalty corner for Australia. Importantly for them, they've defended well enough to keep Germany away from the penalty corner situation. So Stacey and Godoyne. I wonder if they'll work a variation here. Need an equaliser. And it was Meyerhofer away early.
Michael Brennan does well on the ball a long time. So he just needs to make sure he gets set. Doesn't worry about what the Germans are doing. He needs to get set. That's Michael there with number 2 shirt.
At the back line. Yes.
Oh, the post!
Oh,
Can you believe it? It's hit the post.
I thought it was in. So did the Australian bench. Godoy. Rueful shake of the head. Stacey. Choppy.
Oh, you're kidding. I thought he pushed it onto his foot. The follow through certainly hit Green on the knee. Let's look at the penalty first. Ball's pushed to the top, goes one left to Godoy, the drag flick, straight onto the post and straight out onto the goalkeeper and still didn't go in.
Could have come back into the goal off the keeper.
Could have gone anywhere. Well, Godoy, Choppy's got the ball. He's quite entitled. Well, that's a nothing. That's absolute rubbish.
Well, he's stick collected Green's knee.
Followed through. Green took up the position on the wrong side to tackle.
And a little bit of feeling coming into the game. So Godoy with 2 narrow misses in the penalty corners. One just wide, one hitting the post. Germany 1-0 still. Beckman. Australians looking pretty good from the penalty corners.
Yes, they know they've been practicing penalty corners a lot, and they really believe that they can get the ball past Reeds by flicking it. Godoy's proved that twice already, but none of them have gone in the net as yet.
Duff. Oh, Davies under pressure, and that defensive pressure is rewarded with possession. Australians take it quickly. Wansborough to Choppy.
It wasn't 5 yards. Players are calling for a penalty corner. The German player wasn't 5 yards from the ball, but the free hit was actually outside the 25.
Wansborough. Davies can retrieve it, but instead will take possession from the side. Can't beat 3.
No, there was too many there.
Meyerhofer away from Godoy. Wansborough seems to be playing without real discomfort, which is good news. Straight to Choppy. Well, they really channeled him the right way to dispossess him, but the free hit helps Australia. York. Doesn't mind a run up into attack.
No, he has the licence to do that if you create an extra player.
Sproul. 6:20 left in the first half. Duff. Australia pushing forward. Plenty of shirts in the circle if they can get it there. Sproul.
Just outside, free hit to Australia. Everybody must be 5.
Oh, missed one from Wansborough.
It's a good ball. Australia getting some rhythm in their game at the moment.
Duff. Bjorn Mikkel to Blunk. Strong and agile for a big man, Christian Blunk.
Yes, very good player.
Bellenbaum. Choppy! Well taken by Baden Choppy. Teeber's the tackle. Slowed it down enough. Elmer. Jimmy Elmer. Again tackled by Bellenbaum.
Australia applying a lot of pressure.
Giving Sproul a workout. Saliga. Sproul now, though. Stacey's down. On the reverse, it's in! Sproul! What a goal!
Might have been touched in by Elmer, but who cares? It's a goal for Australia.
Well, Elmer's got his finger in the air. It might be, I'm not sure whether it's Elmer or Sproul, but we'll have another look.
Great play by Australia. Watch the replay here. Here's the ball for Davies. It's the best run of the game. Stroud gets it, goes onto his reverse, goes in the air. It was on its way to goal. I think Elmer just helped it on its way.
The reverse looks so good, maybe we should just give it to Sproul. And I haven't got the definitive.
He's got the finger up.
Well, they'd all like to claim it. I think it's Sproul. So 1-1. Australia back in it. Terry Walsh.
Breathes a little easier.
Yeah, not ready to smile. I'm sure he was a moment ago. But
well, they've hit the post. They've missed down the right-hand side. Probably for the last 5 to 7 minutes, they've been right on top. That's because they're moving the ball quickly and they're running off the ball, putting pressure on the Germans.
Duff. Wansborough. Protects it well. York. Davies. Oh, Saliga eliminated by Davies. Elmer. No.
Bad luck. Good idea, though. That's what they have to do. They have to run at them, poke the ball into the space. And one of the things I've noticed, both the fullbacks are running at Blanc and running past him because they've worked out that he can't turn quickly.
Blanc to Green. Andreas Lante is on. He's hardly had a run in the whole tournament. Number 14 for Germany.
It's good tackling by Australia.
And by Germany. Mikkel to Kroner. Sproul to Godoy.
Godoy can run. He's got Blanc chasing. He needs to make him chase to make the big fella work harder.
Choppy, good control. Fronted by Green now. Wansborough dances around the ball. Imer.
Great battle, great contest. Choppy got himself in trouble, out of trouble then. I thought, I'm getting out of here, I'll give it to Wansborough.
He was in just as much trouble from Imer. Some talented players here.
Yes, they're two very, very good teams.
On halfway, to be taken by Mikkel. Minute and a half left, first half, 1-1. A judicious leave by Wansborough. It was over his head. Stacey.
Lante, he's just come from the Junior World Cup and called up at the last minute, so he hasn't played a lot here, but he certainly played a fair bit at the Junior World Cup at Milton Keynes.
Godoy beats a couple. Wansborough in space. Has Sproul on his left.
Well, he thought Elmer was going. He thought Elmer was up the front. He thought Elmer was going to run into that space. The idea is right, though.
Tevez. Well, the crowd saw it, and so did Peter von Rett. Little mistake in handling from Kroner.
Got a bouncing ball from Tevez.
And 30 seconds for the Australians to do something. A German free hit, and that should be the end of the scoring for the first half. Mikkel. Ooh. Players well aware of how many seconds are left on the clock. Not in a hurry. So seesawing first half, really. Germany dominant for the first 20 minutes, perhaps. And then Australia getting back into it, Richard.
Yes, certainly, and I'm very pleased to see the Australians start to move the ball quickly and run at the German defence. But the Germans were very, very good in the first 15 to 20 minutes. But full credit to the Australian team. They didn't concede a penalty corner, which is a very important part of the plan. And it was an outstanding goal by Beckman at the 7-minute mark that led to their first goal. But overall, probably 1-1 at half-time is a fair indication of the game.
Do you think Australia changed the way they played or just felt themselves into the match a bit better after 20 or so minutes?
I think they handle the ball better. When you're playing against a team like Germany, they're absolutely sweating on any errors. And I think the fact that they handle the ball better, Choppy broke through on a few occasions, Wansma rang through, but both fullbacks from the back were running forward and creating that extra player going forward. And we saw Sproul actually have that shot of goal, and whether he scored it or Elmer is irrelevant. But from Australia's point of view, pushing people forward when they've got full control is a very important part of winning this match.
So Beckman in the 7th minute and let's say Sproul in the 31st, 1-1. And all set up for a great second half, the final of the 19th Champions Trophy. Here's Peter G.
Thanks, Steve. Well, with me is successful Australian under-21 coach Barry Dancer. Barry, we'll talk about the gold medal in Milton Keynes shortly, but what's your summation half-time here in the Champions Trophy final?
Well, very much an open game. Not a lot happening in both circles. Certainly, I think a lot of talk will be at half-time about maintaining a lot more continuity in our game, and given that, we'll start to run the Germans around.
What about that reverse stick from Daniel Sproul? Very timely, to say the least.
Timely and skill of the modern game, and to see a halfback in that area of the field, it just sort of indicates the way our game is going and the way we play these days.
Jay Stacey, it seemed to me, is a real engine for Australia. He hasn't seemed to have had the influence in this game. Is he sort of worrying too much about keeping Blunk quiet? I mean, they're very physically imposing, the Germans.
I would think one of the things that the Germans would have been talking about would be stopping our midfield and just, again, not allowing us to gain momentum. And Jay Stacey would have been one of those players targeted. And I think if we are to get into it, then he's got to come into the game, and a few changes possibly as well. To break up the German defence.
But do you think the momentum is with the Kookaburras now that they've got that equaliser just on half-time?
Well, I think that's a psychological factor going in at half-time. It's released some pressure after a tentative start. It's put the Germans in a situation where they sat back on the lead, and they've got to rethink as to what they're going to do now after half-time.
Now let's take you back a fortnight now to Milton Keynes in the Australian under-21 victory, 3-2 over India in the final. Congratulations from all the Australian community. Two of that team here. I mean, a first ever success at that level. What's that say about the strength of the game here in Australia at the moment?
Well, just since we're on the right track, that we've got the development program going the way it needs to be. It's certainly a part of the overall program. It's a stepping stone and seen that way in developing players for this level. And what it says is that we've got the depth now, and leading into 2000 and beyond, that we're going to have the depth there for some time. Now,
I don't know that I should be talking to you. I believe that you've defected to England. Was this on the cards prior to the World Cup, the junior?
The application was in the mail, but at the World Cup it wasn't an issue. It was just a matter of an interview the day after and an offer a couple of days after that. So.
And the result didn't hurt?
Well, it didn't hurt our tournament success. No, I think the success
and your
there,
selection.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It certainly was very timely, I think.
Just a final question. We read some criticism from India and other teams that Australia relied too much on penalty corners in the Junior World Cup. That'd have to be a first ever for an Australian team, wouldn't it?
First ever. If we're going to take that, I would think, on board, we'd take it as, certainly creditable. It's something we've aimed for a long time to be a force in that area, and something we certainly work towards in the junior team. So if that's their only criticism, we'll take it.
OK, Barry, congratulations on that and best of luck with your new appointment.
Thanks, Peter.
Barry Dancer, successful under-21 Australian coach. But today we've had two games played here in the Champions Trophy. 6 nations take part in the Champions Trophy tournament. And first up today, it was the playoff for 5th place between Pakistan, 3 times winners, and Korea, playing in their first ever Champions Trophy. It was a stalemate for the first 15 minutes, but then the floodgates well and truly opened.
Here's a chance now. Tahir. Khalid. Tahir, surely?
Yes.
At last. Tahir.
Will you get punished in this game if you don't make the opportunities when they arise?
Tahir. Dueling with G. Pulls that back for Savar. Oh, great keeping. Kamran. Goal. Kamran gets a second. And that's his 3rd for the tournament. And they really did appear to lift after that first goal. Richard looked much sharper on the ball, more confidence. That's not a surprise, but it's so evident, isn't it?
Yes, you just see them. Suddenly they get excited about the opportunities. They start doing the extra running. Look at that.
Baba! Another one!
How did that go? That must have gone straight through the goalkeeper's pads.
Kim. Kang. Yes. And a home. it's another feast.
Raining goals.
Oh, he's 3-on-1. Savar, Khalid Jr. Oh. Yes, eventually. And it was Savar on his reverse. Took it pretty well in the end.
How many mistakes can you make?
Oh, where's it funny? Well, they've been allowed to play it quickly at least. Tahir. Kamran. Thank you. Savar. Pakistan smiles. Savar gets his second. Defence has gone out the window here.
Defence.
Jong, one of our favourites, is back on now. Out it comes again. Song. Oh, what a rattler! Song. What an exciting player he is. Third goal of the tournament for him. Danish. And in and out. Quick as you please. Danish. Can he hit them?
5-2 was the scoreline at half-time. 6-2 the final result for Pakistan, who will stage the next Champions Trophy over Korea, who made quite a promising debut here in Adelaide this week. Then it was to the playoff for third position, the bronze medal here, and it was a rematch from the Atlanta gold medal playoff with Netherlands, who couldn't defend their Champions Trophy title, the Olympic finalists, looking to do it again against Spain. Looked very much like the game would go to sudden death extra time until the winner came 5 minutes to go from the tournament's leading scorer. Overcast day in Adelaide, but very friendly weather conditions as here's a run. Brinkman controls it brilliantly, but just couldn't tip it into the goal. No, it wasn't Brinkman, it was Van Meer.
Yes, this is a lovely ball here that Van Meer gets. He just fumbles it.
He's going to have to pick it up and help out with some defending here. This is Melgosa, the captain, into the circle. Chance for Pujol. There's the opening goal.
Whatever was the goalkeeper doing? Just watch this on the replay. Watch the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper come charging out. Melgosa wasn't anywhere near him. Just incredible goalkeeping.
Down as Denoyer feeds the ball back. Klein-Gebig and on the line.
How could he miss? How did he miss this? It's absolutely perfect play.
No, it's Denoyer, and another great run to the back line. The crack is there. Van Meer this time.
Off the post.
No, it's not. It's Brinkman. Is it gone in or not?
Oh, I think it's hit the post.
Delmay's come up to put it into the circle. Oh, it's there. Flicked in by Brinkman. Was it going to score? No, it's not counted.
Well, Don Pryor said it was in the air.
Eichelboom, I think it was, that got his stick to it. The flick from Lomans is good. It is third time lucky, and Holland have level with 3 minutes to go in the first half. With the push. And it comes to Arnell. He's put Spain in front. With just 6 minutes to go. 8th goal of the tournament for Javier Arnell. His 5th penalty corner goal. And a brilliant conversion, only the 3rd that Netherlands have let in this tournament. And Spain do get that lead.
There's a replay, and he flicked it very high to the goalkeeper's right. And we watch it from the goal cam. Slightly left, there's Arnell. He's very good in this situation. And there's the goal.
So for Spain, 2 wins over the Netherlands here in Adelaide this week. Revenge, well, to a certain degree for what happened in the Atlanta final. 1-1 at half-time, 2-1 the final score in that playoff for third. It's locked up in the playoff for gold here at the 19th Champions Trophy. Australia equalising just before half-time against Germany. It's 1-1. Both teams back out on the pitch for the resumption. Let's go up to Richard Agus and Steve Rebellion for the restart.
Thanks, Pete. 4 shots on goal for both teams in that first half. 1-1 the score. But Germany, as you pointed out just before half-time, Richard, held to no penalty corners. That's quite an indication that the Australian defence is doing very well.
Yes, it is, and it's very important that that continues. I think the other thing that is important, that Wansbrook continues to run through the midfield and create opportunities. He's very good at that. He loves to do it, and if he can run, then Australia will be well on their way. But there's a lot of hockey left in this match.
Just watching Blunk and Davies standing over the ball before the whistle set them on their way, and sharing a joke.
Yeah, having a bit of a social chat. Stephen Davies would talk to anybody, I reckon.
Talks to himself a fair bit. Yeah, these fellas have spent so much time on the pitch opposed to each other. It'd be helpful to have some kind of cordial relationship and they're not in the heat of battle. Stacey, no, not allowed to continue. Lewis, good interception.
He's good at that, Lewis.
Davies. Australians can break out. There are more white shirts than yellow, but Elmo. Choppy. Oh!
Where's the ball? Penalty corner. He just loves loitering in that circle.
Choppy had a big week.
Don't the crowd love him? This is a great ball by Elmer. He sees Choppy in the circle. Choppy gets an edge on it, but the goalkeeper was there, and the ball gets underneath the goalkeeper, so it's an obstruction. Penalty corner number 3, the first one in the second half.
And Baden Choppy, Sportsman of the Year at the ATSIC Awards a couple of days ago. Can rights deny them again? Davies, mishit. They teed it up pretty well. It was a nice variation.
Germany have got the numbers.
Here's Domke.
That's a
Go!
goal.
Beckman!
Well, absolutely perfect power play. Australia were having a penalty corner. The ball was cleared. They had the numbers. And Beckman came from the blind side of York to deflect the cross. Unbelievable that Australia could be in attack 1 second, and they've worked this to absolute perfection, and Adelaide was left absolutely stranded. Domke on the edge of the circle. There's the ball. Beckman coming from the blind side of York, getting the deflection.
Australia back in the situation most of the first half. 1 down, but now it's 2-1.
Watch this from the other angle. This is right behind Domke. There's Beckman. He comes. York stands instead of coming to the ball. Be unhappy with himself, Michael York. He's well aware of Beckman's positioning.
Lewis. Turned back well by Lewis. That's Crone safely up the side. Requirement to score in the next few minutes is paramount for the Australians because Germany will shut it down midway through the second half.
Choppy's saying you've got to push in the back from Michael Green, but umpire Van Red was saying none of that.
Beckman. 5 goals for the tournament for Christoph Beckman. Took the free hit from his knees. Why not? Elmer.
Beckman's actually become a very important part of this German team. He reminds me so much of Becker, one of the other German players. There's a good push in the back to Wansbrook by Meyerhofer. Not sure whether Becker's retired from German hockey, but if those two ever play together, it'll be a nightmare for the commentators. Same hairstyle. In fact, I think Beckman's actually wearing Becker's shirt, number 12. So.
Mickle. Tough one for Domke. Lewis. Germany's free hit.
Yeah, he said Lewis lifted the ball to create the dangerous play.
Green. Oh, Choppy arrived about a third of a second late.
Worth having a go because if he'd got the ball, he was away.
Blunk's in the corner. Duff with him. Oh, here's trouble. Sproul and York needed to shut that down. It looked like a third.
Beckman's getting a lot of space.
Choppy. Elmer's up in the circle. Crowd on its feet. Free hit just outside. Choppy leaves it. Stacey back to Wansborough. Stacey's lost it.
The umpire ruled it went over the sideline, so it'll be an Australian free hit.
Stacey again. Can he keep it low if he drives it? He does. He was lucky it didn't hit Lewis in the back. He'd fallen over. 6 minutes gone, second half. It's 2-1 Germany. Tevez to Green. Choppy gets one from Green. Little push in the back from Mr. Blunk. Crowd loves to give it to Christian. Domke. Godoy a stick on it. Blunk now. Well, the umpire might have played advantage there. Germany were away.
They certainly were.
Tevez wide to Kroner. Bellenbaum. Lewis! Lewis has Davies. Oh, Choppy. Elmer. Oh, great save, Christopher Wrights.
Good interception by Paul Lewis, one of the best players in the world in intercepting. And there's Elmer.
Wansborough was outside the circle, I think, wasn't he?
Yes, you have to wait for it to come in the circle. There's the pass from Lewis. Fumbled initially, but there's Elmer. Gets the ball on an angle and really lays into it, but a great save by Wrights.
By rights, he should have missed it.
Oh,
Elmer!
Good ball, Jason Duff. Watch this pass from Duff. Big hole through the middle. Elmer breaks into that space. Doesn't quite trap it as well as he would have liked. Australia applying pressure.
And the crowd lifting accordingly. It's a loose one for Blunk. Pick up, Mickle. Godoy, now Elmer. Godoy. It's pretty crowded there. Up off Germany, so free hit just outside the circle, and the Australians have been pretty interesting and creative in these situations. Players will run everywhere. They'll be looking for a deflection from Choppy or Elmer.
Was there, didn't get it. Not a lot of time to get the ball on it. Get the stick on the ball. The good pass from Sproul. They set up the wall at the top of the circle. There's it is through the gap. Choppy just couldn't get a stick on it.
Outside Germany's turn. Saliga. Nowhere near it, really. Meyerhofer pointing to where he would have liked him to be, but Godoy. Elmer! Turning it back, intended for Choppy. Oh, they're creating some problems at the back out of on the fast break, Australia.
They're certainly finding the holes. They've got to get that ball in the net.
Tevez. Ooh-wee. Godoyan. Play on, says Deo.
Australia have obviously decided to play the ball long through the line rather than playing across the front of the German defenders. So when they get a chance to hit long or play through the line, they're going to do it.
York, Lewis. Mickle the defender, Sproul. Sproul beats one.
They lifted the ball up into him. Yeah, he wasn't thorough enough, no question about that decision. He did it very well, but then lifted it up into the German body. Dangerous play.
Tevez. 24.5 minutes left. Germany 2, Australia 1. Saliga, no. Australian possession on halfway. Duff. Straight to Mickle. Meyerhofer. Again dispossessed, this time by Wansborough. Lewis. Wansborough.
Correct or foul, he'll get a card here. And if he was inside the 25, it would have been a penalty corner.
And is it Beckman? Or no, it's Gemrick. Frank Gemrick.
Deliberately throws his body on the line here. Stops Wansborough, stops the rhythm. Just outside the 25 it'll be.
Sustained attack from Australia. They need to convert this into something on the scoreboard. Sproul to his left. He's looking that way. Hiskins. They need the call obstruction.
That's right. When he trapped the ball, he stood there for too long, and therefore the German defender couldn't get around to tackle him. That's the grey area in this rule, of course, but that's what the umpire ruled. They've been reasonably consistent on that one.
So York to Duff. Elmer. Inside to Stacey. Elmer, has he got the pace on Green? Elmer, can he turn it back?
Oh, he needed to do better than that. He had the opportunity. It was a good tackle by Michael Green.
He's a marvellous defender, Green.
So quick.
Can we interest him in coming to play here?
Here's Elmer here. He's looking to get a penalty corner, but then he decides to go, and Green just reaches in because the ball was so close to the goal line.
Imer, Tevez, and Domke.
Australia have had the ball enough.
Gemrick. Tevez now. Pushing the back by Duff on Saliga, says Sandy Deo. Crowd would beg to differ, of course. Blunk. Mickle. And back they come to halfway. So a bit more of this in the closing 10 minutes if they stay in front. But we've got 22 minutes to go now.
That's why Australia will push up to try to make interceptions. To date, Germany have been over their 25 in attack 21 times to Australia 18. Germany have been into their circle 8 times to Australia 4. So Germany certainly haven't been outplayed in this competition.
Sproul, Wansborough, try again, no. Scratch of the head from Wansborough and sent the ball the wrong way. Lewis wants to take it briskly. Hiskins. Green too good.
Too quick. Recovery. Was off the mark in a flash. Hiskins had the drop on him, but just wasn't quick enough off the mark.
In Hiskins' defence, there aren't many players who would be.
No. Hiskins will learn that that's something he needs to work on, obviously.
Here's Oliver Domke. York with him. Well, Australia's had so much of the attack recently. Be careful here that on these rare visits down this end, Germany don't make something of it. So often happens that way. Oh, Hiskins, a loss of control there, and Mickle.
Can't afford to lose that in that situation because they had them outnumbered.
Tevez. Green to Meyerhofer. Green to Tevez. Nearly.
Elmer's done a lot of good work since half-time. In fact, even before half-time.
Duff to Lewis. York. Australians under some pressure here. More so now as Domke comes in.
Ball was lifted.
Stacey hasn't been played yet. Blunk claiming that it has. Now the hit's taken. Stacey, a quieter game than he probably would have liked to have had in what's such an important match where he becomes the most experienced Australian player.
That's right, and it is a very important match for him, and it's going to be important that he lifts and Hiskins lifts in particular. And I notice that Brennan's now on. Good ball from Michael York to Jeremy Hiskins. Just didn't fall before him as he would have liked.
Choppy! Choppy!
It's a penalty strike. It's a penalty strike.
The Germans protesting. Choppy takes the high five from Brennan.
I like to see that because my initial reaction was it wasn't too high. It was a great steal by Choppy. Pulls around the German defence. Then he flicks the ball, beats the goalkeeper. Even from that angle, I wasn't absolutely convinced, but let's have a look again. Remembering he's got to play the ball. Yeah, no doubt. Definitely a penalty straight. No doubt about it.
No.
Doesn't matter what's on the big screen anyway. That's what the crowd are saying. They're saying, get out of it.
Stephen Davies will come up and take it.
I actually thought Godoin might take this. This is a very important flick for Australia, needless to say.
Clock has been stopped, by the way.
What was your first impression of that, Steve? Did you think that was high? Was it
his knees had sunk a little. He was in a semi-crouched position. It's
stick above the shoulder. That was the key thing. Whether his stick was above the shoulder.
Davies against Wrights.
Yes.
Yes, sir. 2-2. th minute, second half.
And we saw the penalty stroke. Easy to Davies. Yeah, just pushed it into the corner. Baden Choppy's ability to anticipate, and then we watched the replay again, but Baden Choppy's ability to anticipate passes. Here he goes again. He's done it again to them.
Choppy, Lewis on his inside. Important tackle from Tevez.
Yes, he didn't know Lewis was there.
Yeah, I thought on Tuesday night against Germany, Choppy was a little out of his depth. A step up in class, I thought he'd found it, but he's quickly found his feet here.
You watch his ability to read the ball off a stick. He moves almost before they make the pass. Oh.
So 2-2. Domke has Beckman. Beckman.
I thought he was given a penalty corner. First one for Germany. Let's look at the replay. I'm not exactly sure what happened here. Yes, he tripped there. There was a trip. I think Daniel Sproul ran across his heels and tripped him up.
So much drama at the Pines. 2-2. Germany's first penalty corner. Green to stop. Tevez is their big hitter, the number 3. Tevez fakes it.
Deflected off Sproul, went for a long corner. Well saved Australia.
And 7,000 people breathe a sigh of relief.
Let's watch the penalty corner replay here. The ball goes stopped by Green, dead. One left to the battery. Mickle, he's looking for Blanc, but Sproul's seen that one before and got a deflection. They were well aware of that variation.
Bellenbaum. York. Beckman was shepherded out of the way by Duff.
Well, that's a crucial mistake, that. The ball was lifted into the circle, so it'll still be a free hit for Australia.
Duff might be injured.
Sandy Day was just telling everybody to settle down.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's doing that, but he should be telling Beckman to leave the ball alone. That's what the crowd's booing about.
Well, everyone running on much adrenaline. Oh, another great ball to Choppy. Tevez clears. York. Wansborough. Some space is opening up in this match now. Lewis.
That's the danger for Germany. They give Australia too much space, they'll lose this match.
Mind you, their breakout goal was a classic.
Oh, absolute perfect.
Bellenbaum. Off York's foot.
They knew exactly what they were doing on that breakout goal. They practiced that a few times.
Meyerhofer. Beckman has scored both of Germany's goals. Stacey.
Good play, Jay Stacey. Good tackle at a crucial time in the match.
.5 minutes to go.
The crowd are getting into Christian Blanc.
Oh, Domke. Adelaide to Sproul. Good clearance by the keeper. Tevez up from the back.
No deflection. Blanc was there.
Hearts in mouths around the park.
Yeah, Australia made a lot of mistakes coming out of defence here. They've been in defence for the last 2 minutes and made 3 mistakes. Watch this replay. Tevez hits the ball on the 45 angle, but Adelaide was there to block it.
Duff. Let's get it out of here. Up off Elmer's stick.
Another error.
Not playing well in defence, Australia, just at the moment.
Someone needs to settle it down and get hold of this ball.
Lewis. He's accidentally run over the ball and into an opponent. Bellenbaum keeps it low.
Pressure time for Australia.
Do need to clear. I think the crowd on the far side's not into this game.
They're having a good time, aren't they?
They are riding every decision by Peter von Rett.
Peter von Rett has made about 5 decisions in a row.
Davies, Choppy. Lewis to Elmer. Choppy is flying. Look at him go. Choppy, can he pull it back?
He does, but we haven't got a chance of getting anybody there because no one could run fast enough to catch him on that thing.
Well, Baden Choppy might well be the quickest man in world hockey.
It's a lovely pass here for Melbourne. Just probably a yard too fast for him, but he gets there. But there was no chance anyone else was going to be there because they'd all come from defence.
You give Baden Choppy 1 yard start and he'll be 5 in front of you come the other end.
I'm not sure he's the quickest over 70 or 100 metres, but I tell you what, he's one of the quickest off the mark, and that's the crucial thing.
Davies. Meyerhofer, and that'll be a German free hit.
Jimmy Ulmer's not having much luck with his tackling with Peter von Rett.
Tevez over the ball. They're being a little easily dispossessed at times too, Germany.
Oh, yes, they are. They've made a lot of mistakes, but Australia haven't quite been able to punish them enough.
Stacey kept that in. Oh, and long corner. It's Bjorn Mikkel.
It's been pretty sound in this match. Mikkel.
Yep. Blunk.
Wansborough had him there, but unfortunately took his eye off the ball. If he'd got the ball then, Australia would have been away. So it was well worth the go by David Wansborough.
Michael Green places it. 12 minutes to go. Still 2-2.
Yes, a free hit to Australia.
Elmer. Green gets past him, beats a couple. Lewis. And that's just outside the circle. Can Australia cook up this time? Now, Wansborough could stand over it.
Look at the wall. There's about 19 people in the wall, it looks like.
Tevez is closer than 5, perhaps. Wansborough, will he leave it? And Sproul run in.
Have a look at this.
He does.
No, he lifted it.
Yep. Now, if it's 2-2 at full time, we'll play sudden death extra time. First to score in 2 7.5-minute periods. Tevez. 11 minutes to go. Well, those who may have been expecting a slightly dull or door match for the final here with Germany playing would be delighted with the way the match has unfolded. I wonder whether there's even been a philosophical change in the way they play their hockey, because all week, Richard, they've played, positive hockey.
Oh, I think they're a very good hockey team. Sometimes, though, when they want to lock it up, I mean, if they were to score a goal now, then you'd see them want to lock the game up. But Australia would want to do that as well anyway. But they've got some very, very good hockey players, and of course they've got one of the world's best hockey coaches coaching them, Paul Lissick.
Here's Eimer. Sproul.
Oh,
lost it.
Daniel Sproul sometimes just so casual, he worries me in defence.
Krone to take this hit. Stacey quickly to Davies. He ran into Tevez. 35 minutes a half, of course. 10 to go. Michael Green. Hasn't wandered up into attack much in this game.
They've got him in trouble. They had him in trouble. But unfortunately for Jimmy Eimer again, I don't think he's got a tackling decision off Peter Von Red all afternoon. But he is pushing him in the back, and there's no question about that. But he did have him in a lot of trouble.
Duff. Here's Beckman in some space. Lewis moves in.
Yeah,
oh, good tackle, Lewis.
One of the great tacklers in world hockey, Paul Lewis, if not the best forward tackling playing modern hockey.
Oh, Sproul touched that with his foot, I think, but it's play on. Still Sproul. It's as well nothing came of that, because I think there was a foot there.
The question is, can Sproul get back? That's really the question.
Beckman's lost a shin pad. Blum lost his stick. Oh no, it was York who lost his. He's got it back now. Oh, the players will be breathing hard, a fierce pace in the last 5 minutes. Blunk. Krone. Blunk again. Lewis helps Blunk up.
Played in pretty good spirit, hasn't it, the game? It's not 5 yards. Umpire Dale was right on. Well, at least he's been consistent, but Blunk is probably right. I think Dale's got the longest 5 yards that I've ever seen. because there was a mark on the ground there that indicates 5 yards.
And Blunk was pointing to it.
And I think he was right.
Tevis. Bellenbaum. Touch under 8 minutes to go. Michael Green. Aymar, they're gang tackling him.
And they nearly had him again. Wansborough came on the blind side. Because of the modern day obstruction, when a player turns one side, as you'll see here, he turns one side and then Wansborough comes in.
Bellenbaum. Telling run. Bellenbaum. Bellenbaum. Turn back. And penalty corner given by Deo. Their second.
Australia's been battling to get control of this ball for the last 5 to 7 minutes. This penalty corner, very dangerous.
So Mickle, Tevis, Blunk, Domke, all up. Tevis leaves it over the top from Bjorn Mickle.
I had a feeling the flick was going that time. I saw Mickle flexing his muscles like, this is for me.
And a goalkeeper would be looking for that kind of sign. But he's now, Delaney went down and went up again. Wansborough. Wansborough. Lewis.
Free hit to Australia.
Free hit. Will they look for a set play off this?
I think they will.
Who makes the call? Sproul. No.
Oh.
4-1. Play on. Blunk. Six minutes to go. 2-2. The final's everything we'd hoped for.
Oh, but Michael Green, what a tackle. Drennan was a yard past him, but he reached out and still got it.
And cleanly.
Clean as you like.
Well, we're averaging 5 goals a game at the 19th Champions Trophy. It's 2-all. Whoever scores in the next 5 minutes, surely a tournament is theirs. And if they don't, sudden death extra time. Duff.
Couldn't think of a more appropriate time for Australia to score that extra goal to make it 5 goals for the match.
No, any time now would be fine, yes. I'm sure, Terry Walsh is thinking. Off a German foot, outside the 25. So 5 minutes to go. York. Can't see much he likes. Wansborough. Davies. When they're set, the German defence is just about impenetrable.
Yes, you have to get them standing up and running. Otherwise, they all go into their indoor schools. Every one of them play indoor hockey. Very good near their feet.
Here's Duff.
Good ball by Duff again. He's made 2 of those piercing passes.
Brennan acknowledged it. He was apologetic he couldn't trap it. Was travelling, of course.
Well, Germany have been in the Australian in their 25, 22 times, and Australia have now been 21, so there's nothing in it.
York. Stacey. Sproul. Godoyne who left it for Duff. Oh, Choppy just looking for the tiniest deflection to put Wrights off his line, but not able to.
Clever dummy by Godoyne. The awareness to know that Duff was there.
3:20 to go. Stacey. Lewis. Mickle to beat. Turns it back in. Green. So composed. Mickle. Eimer. Germany on the break. Might be a card here. No. Well, whether it comes in the next 2 3/4 minutes or after it, the next team to score will win. Blunk. Sproul. York. He's got Domke behind him. I don't know if he heard him coming. Lewis. Little touch over the stick of Bellenbaum, and Sproul has defender in his back. Davies. Sproul again. Davies.
A great play by Tevez. He and Green have been absolutely superb. Are we picking the man of the match? I've got a headache already thinking about it.
There's about 20 of them. Under 2 minutes left. York. Lewis. Australians a little sorry the rules are it's not on for and against if it's a draw. Australia have knocked in 19 goals, 5 against. Germany 12 for, 8 against. .124 to go. York. Duff. Goodwin.
Oh, what? The crowd asked, was that for?
Choppy would like to know as well. 60 seconds left before sudden death extra time.
The crowd love sudden death extra time, wouldn't they?
Bit of value for money.
I think there'll actually be a 5-minute break if that occurs.
Lewis. Will Germany mount the last raid? No. Stacey. Goodwin around his right.
30 seconds.
Goodwin.
Free hit at the 25 where Stacey is. He'll hammer this in the circle.
Oh.
No, free hit just outside the circle. The umpire's correct. The ball is lifted off a German defender.
They've got 10 seconds to take it.
Penalty corner, and the penalty corner must be played out.
So 5 seconds on the clock.
The clock's irrelevant.
And they get to take it. Well now, what incredible drama.
Which penalty corner variation will they go for? Now the situation is the ball can go out of the circle once, then into the circle. If there's a breaching by Australia, the game will be over, it'll be drawn. Australia scores a goal, we've won the Champions Trophy. If there's a penalty stroke and we score, we've won the Champions Trophy. There's so many computations here. Australia's got every player around the circle's edge.
Brennan over the ball. Goodwin and Stacey waiting to do something historic. Well defended by Blum.
Another penalty corner. I didn't like the option. I think they should put the pressure on the goalkeeper. I think they should go to Goodwin. He's beaten the goalkeeper twice today. One hit the post.
How many options are up their sleeve? Do they repeat one? Reminding you we're out of time. 2-2. Goodwin. Well blocked. Lewis.
We're going to extra time.
Well, hearts are pounding around the Pines.
It's a great game.
A lot of pressure on the umpires and players, commentators.
Absolutely.
2 goals to Christoph Beckmann, 1 in each half. So Germany led Australia twice. Penalty stroke by Stephen Davies in the second half, and Daniel Sproul a goal in the first. So sudden death extra time coming up very shortly.
Well, the statistics show that these two teams are so evenly balanced. It's quite ironical because Terry Walsh coached the Australian under-21 team in 1989 at the Junior World Cup in Ipoh, Malaysia, and there's Terry there. They played Germany in the final. and that game went to extra time. Then it went to penalty strokes, and Germany beat Australia on penalty strokes. So Terry's hoping that that doesn't happen, that history doesn't repeat itself. And some of the players are in that team that I can think of who are playing here today: Jay Stacey, Stephen Davies, to name two that spring to mind immediately. And probably in the German team were people like Blom.
Germany has won the Champions Trophy 6 occasions: 86, 87, 88 in Karachi, Amsterdam and Lahore, 91 and 92 Berlin and Karachi, and 95 at home in Berlin. Australia's 6 wins came in 83, 84, 85 Karachi and Perth, 89 and 90 Berlin and Melbourne, and 1993 in Kuala Lumpur. So it's been staged twice in Australia, Perth and Melbourne, and Australia's won it both those times. And a few people have been mindful of that record all week. Terry Walsh, the new coach, done a mighty job with the team since taking over, officially since the 1st of January.
Yes, that's right. And he spent all of 1997 getting the players, the groups together, the structure in place that's going to set Australian hockey on course for the 2000 Olympics. And while today is very important, and there's never anything more important than exactly what's happening right now in terms of international hockey at this level, but this is all part of the planning for the World Cup next year in Amsterdam. Now Terry will be very keen to keep Wansborough and Stacey and Lewis in the game. That's the engine room of this team, to provide those run-throughs that Sproul and Godoyne, and every now and again Jason Duff's going to come from the back, and Jason Duff's ability to find the targets who are very high, like Choppy and Brennan and Elmer. That's a very important part of what he'll be talking about here.
A couple of let's have another look at what's happened in the match so far. The first goal, Beckman.
Yeah, a little fumble there, and then a great shot by Beckman.
Might have been touched in by an Australian, but that doesn't matter. The shot from Beckman well inside the circle initially.
This is a wonderful goal by Sproul. I'm not sure that Sproul actually scored it, but watch this, 2 reverse stick shots, and have a look at this. Elmer played it in, then puts his finger up and says, well, I think that's mine.
Christopher Wright's.
But this was a great goal, because Australia had a penalty corner at the other end. That Germans had got the ball, gone down the right wing, hammered it across, and Beckford come in front of York, got the deflection. Poor old Damon Deletti was wrong-footed, and that made it 2-1.
And that ball was absolutely whistling in. It's incredible skill from Beckman to touch that in.
Yeah, he's the big improver for mine in this competition. I actually didn't have an enormous opinion of him before this tournament, but he's certainly improved enormously. He's got, what, 5 goals now, and he's been a very good player for them, very skillful. I think whatever happens today, and obviously we're all hoping Australia wins, but whatever happens today, this contest between these two teams is going to go on for the next 4 years, and you can add Netherlands to that, and Spain, and of course we're not sure what's going to happen to Pakistan, and of course England under the new coach, or Great Britain. Barry Dance is going to be coaching England. We're not sure who's coaching Great Britain, but certainly England.
Australia's equaliser from Stephen Davies from penalty stroke. No trouble beating Christopher Wright's.
It always looks easy when the goalkeeper goes the wrong way. You take that penalty stroke next time and the goalkeeper's there, and you think, what a muggy he is going that way.
Yeah. Christian Blum spent a lot of time in Australia. Played in Perth, didn't he?
He's played in Perth, played in Melbourne, and knows all of the players on the Australian scene. Number 16, Meyerhofer.
Would you care to guess which team was the fitter?
No, I wouldn't, because I think sometimes people can lift in these circumstances, and you can always lift if you're tired, if you got that desire to win, and that's what it comes down to. And there'll be some people who will push themselves to exhaustion, and other players who just won't be able to lift in this occasion. But I think it's very important that Australia get hold of the ball, and particularly in the first couple of minutes, because in both starts of the first half and the second half, Germany have scored, what, in the first 7 minutes. Now, if that happens here, the game's all over, because it's sudden death. And that's why they call it golden goal. If you score a goal now, that's it, golden goal.
So Germany scored in the 7th minute of the first half and the 2nd minute of the second, so that has is that what you're saying, Richard? They made good starts. Right, so 7.5 minutes each way if it's required. As soon as a goal is scored, that's it. So if there are no goals after 15 minutes, penalty strokes. So Peter G, I'm sure, has been eavesdropping down there. Pete.
Well, Terry Walsh said desperate times call for desperate measures. Make sure you put so much pressure on the Germans that they're the ones that do something silly. If you hit hard, make sure you go down. Put pressure on the referees as well.
Okay, thanks, Pete. We're underway. Sudden death.
You won't have to say that twice to Wansborough. Wansborough plays like that all the time. He will be putting the blowtorch on the Germans as soon as he can.
He's over the ball now. Has played well despite his injury. York. Davies.
Good tackle by Tevers.
And helped out by Mickle. So Bellenbaum. Blunk. No one would want to give a yellow card and find themselves down to 10 men. Another consideration.
That would be unfortunate because the game has been played in very good spirit. Tough and all that, but they're played in very good spirit between the two teams.
Cronet. Good skills from Cronet over the defender's stick. Here's Beckman.
Obstruction. Beckman knew it. I think there might have been a bit of foot in there as well by the look of the expression on his face. There's the pass into the circle. Yes, looked like a bit of foot in it.
Beckman has it again. It's got to be close to player of the match.
Been very good.
Will he be on the winning side? Ima. Back to Tevers. Green. Elmer trying to put him under pressure. Haven't seen a lot of Green venturing this far forward.
Now here's a chance for Australia. Stacey can get this ball.
Davies. Defenders closing in. Davies looking to protect it.
Didn't protect it enough.
Mickle. Meyerhofer. Blunk on this side. Beckman.
Over the goal line, Michael. Good tackle by Michael York.
Duff.
Free hit to Australia. The ball was raised.
Lewis for Sproul. Brennan's up, and so is Choppy. Sproul.
Good play by Sproul, but Cronet was equal to the task.
Jimmy Elmer getting some words of advice from Terry Walsh with a headset on.
We're getting feedback from Jim Irvine, the assistant coach, who's sitting in the stand.
Meyerhofer turns Duff inside out. Meyerhofer. Oof. Wansborough. Stacey. Brennan. It's away from Green. He shuffles it out.
He's done very well, Brennan, hasn't he, in this tournament? For a young player playing at this level for the first time. Showed a lot of confidence on the ball.
And has scored one of the best goals here, too.
Certainly. I don't think it'll match Stephen Davies through the legs, though.
No, no. You can wait a few Champions trophies before you see another one like that.
Trouble is, Davies reckons he's been practicing that.
Maybe at home. This has fallen deliciously for Germany. Domke has Beckman on his left. Domke, Beckman.
There's the
goal.
goal. The Champions Trophy is over.
That's the Champions Trophy. It's Beckman. A hat-trick in the final for Christoph Beckman. On the fast break. And a devastating goal for the Australian supporters. Germany win the Champions Trophy for a 7th time. Oh, what a player, Christoph Beckman.
Did it so easily. Confirmed his man of the match. There's Paul Lissett, the coach out there. The Australian players haven't moved. They're stunned.
Well, a match worthy of a final. Baden Choppy. Can't believe it. But a think it's been fantastic hockey. Yes, the crowd is sad that Australia hasn't won, but you couldn't complain about the quality of this match, which is just great.
Fantastic. I think the Germans played very, very well, but so did Australia. Both teams had equal chances, but Beckman really was man of the match, and his 3 goals just absolutely rocked the Australian defence.
So Germany, led by Christian Blunk, and win to Germany in sudden death extra time, 3-2. Hope you've enjoyed the Champions Trophy from Adelaide. On behalf of Richard Agus and Peter G, bye for now.